Hey everybody, Scout Crafty here again. Midweek Wednesday. We got a quick couple projects to do today. February is going to move by real quick, even though it's a leap year. So I can't believe we've been having such great weather. Looking forward to the rest of this month. It's moving quick. And that's why we're going to do a short one today. Today's first project, a couple weeks ago, we did a York Vise, nice little vise from Czechoslovakia. And a couple of you, when I said I got to mount it on a board, they said, please show us how you mount it step by step. So we're going to do that for the first part. And then we have that nice little Greenfield Die Set. I just want to see how much we can clean that up. I want to put that away, and that's about it. So let's get to it. Okay, next up, I got to put this vise onto a board here because I want to be able to clamp it down. I want to show you a quick and easy way to do it. I do this with all my vises. It's easy to store. It's easy to put on a bench and just put two clamps on and use it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look for some bolts. I just happen to have these, and they fit well in here. So next you're going to position the vise onto the board. I'm using a 2x8 board that I use for all my vises. And now what we have is, now that we positioned it even, you just measure it from both sides to get it centered. When you're satisfied with how it's centered, then you're going to center mark these holes, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, next thing, if you have a set of center punches, these are really good to have. You really should look for a pair of these. All it is, it's a punch with a little, you see that little conical point at the end? It's centered. So this way you get one that is that fits in here, that it just fits in like that, and it's, you know, that the tightest fit you can get that you could still get in the hole. And then when you put it in there, all you do is you take your brass hammer, make sure it's perpendicular, nice straight up and down, give it a quick tap like that, and you do it in all 4 holes, each one of them, just a quick tap. And then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, now that you've marked your holes, you're going to remove the vise from the board, and you'll look here, you'll see each one of these holes has a little dimple there like that. There's 4 of them on here. Now we're going to take it over to the drill press and drill a small 3/16 inch hole through those where those dimples are. Okay, we're at the drill press now. We're going to place the board underneath the drill bit. That's a 3/16 drill bit. We raise the table up so there's about 1/4 of an inch under here, so you can move it around without scratching the surface. And then what you want to do is you want to lower the drill bit down so it passes here. It breaks this little hole here, because that's as far as you want to go down. And then you'll lock the quill stop here. You see the quill stop here? You'll lock it so it don't go down. There's no sense in traveling down any further. So we'll know it will pierce the wood, and then it's all set up to drill. Now, I mark these holes with a Sharpie just to make sure, because, you know, you might have a ding in the wood, and it's always good to make sure that you know where the holes are. And you can see here's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're all marked with a Sharpie, so I don't make any mistake when I'm under here under the lights. And now we're going to drill these out. Next up, you're going to lay the vise on the side with the board underneath it, just like this. And you're going to set your bolt up. Again, you can have any size bolt you want, but we're using these 4. So we're going to take this bolt like this, put it flush with the nut here. And you see where the head of this is going to rest on that vise there. And then we're going to look over here. And we have to drill a counterbore hole down to at the bottom of this nut. So we're going to measure that there. We hold it here like this, and you'll see we have to go down just under an inch. It's 3/4 of an inch. We have to go down with the spade bit, and that's what we'll do now. Now we're going to need 2 spade bits, and this is our bolt. This is the washer we're going to use, okay? So the first thing you need is a 1 for the size of the bolt. We're going to look over here, and we see that 3/8 is a nice size. That'll give us a good clearance. So we'll take that 3/8 out, and now we need 1 for the washer on the bottom. So what you do is you just take it and you place it on top of one that you think it'll fit, and you can see here this 1 inch. That'll be a close fit right there, and that's the one we want. So we'll use the 1 inch and the 3/8 inch spade bits. Now we're back at the drill press, and this is where it gets important. Now you take the 1 inch spade bit that's mounted into the drill press. Well, this is the line we have to come down to here, you know, as far as depth goes. So we push the board over here like this. We lock our table because we only want about 1/4 of an inch between the bit and the board, and then we lower the spade bit down to that point, and that's exactly where we want to stay to, and we lock the quill stop so it can't go any further. Now that it's locked there, we're going to flip the board over, and at the bottom of the board we're going to drill 4 counter bore holes for the washer. Now this is what we have so far. You see those are the counterboard holes, and you see why we did the 3/16 drill bit, because that was a guide for the spade bit. Now we're going to drill the top ones with the 3/8 inch, and we're ready to mount the vise. Okay, now with your vise mounted upside down, we take the board. This is the bottom. Remember, this is the one that'll house the washer and the nut. And you take your first bolt, place it through here. Okay, then put your board up here like this. You see? Now your washer goes on, and you'll see your washer will fit in that hole very nicely. You see? And then you take the nut, and you put the nut on here, and we'll tighten it down. And that'll be nice and flush. You don't have to worry about anything. So we'll do that on. Okay, the vise has been tightened down. We tightened all the nuts. You see how neat that is, how clean it is. There's nothing protruding from the bottom. And when you put it onto any edge of the bench here, all I like to do is to take a couple of these quick clamps like this, one on each corner, and that vise is very secure for just about any job that you have to do. It's as secure as your table, and this bench isn't so secure, but a nice way to mount your vices and to also keep them on the shelf or whatever when you're not using. Next up, we got this simple Greenfield Die Set, and you can see this one here was probably left in a garage or something, or someplace unheated, because everything got just totally rusted. Look at some of these dies here. They're just totally rusted up, and and we're going to try and get this back in service. Here we have a the tap handle looks not to be so bad, but everything is just rusted beyond. Look at these taps here. It's bad enough the dies are bad, but look at that. Look at the deep rust in here. Is there anything we could do with this? We'll see. If not, these are easily replaced. I think these were new here because they have the cardboard sleeve on them. So that makes me think that these weren't used, but they're so rusted underneath, We'll pull it off and see. Here we go. Yeah, so maybe these weren't used, but we'll see what we can do with them. We'll clean them up and clean up the case, and I'll show you what's so nice about this set. Okay, next up we'll be working on the case. What we're going to do is we're going to take some very fine steel wool with, vacuum this out, and very fine steel wool with odorless mineral spirits, just to wipe it down, get some of that dirt off there. And then once the dirt is off there, we'll wipe it down, and we'll use this here, this product. This is called Feed and Wax. It's a wood preserver. It has beeswax and orange oil, and it's very good for cleaning, and it goes on a little bit thick, but you'll see it puts a nice sheen on it. Been using this for a long time, so let's get to working on this box. Okay, we're calling this project done. You can see here it left a nice sheen on that feed. That beeswax and orange oil does a nice job on cleaning that up. Let's open it up and see what we have here. Oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? Everything is cleaned up again and looking really nice, huh? I never thought I could get it back, but I'll tell you, these Greenfield taps and die, with such good steel. You know, that's the thing. When you deal with good steel, you can bring it back, you know, even though it looked bad. So let's take a look at this. This is that part. This is why I bought that whole tap and die set, because this is the tap driver, and this is the die handle. Now, what you do is, to use that tap driver, you take this out. You just remove the die from in here, and then you place in the tap driver. Let me show you what that looks like. And this is what it looks like with the, isn't that beautiful? What a great design. So you use this little tap driver, put it into the die handle, and then you could put your tap right into here. And everything's all oiled up and lubricated, but that's just, I never seen that before. That's why I had to buy this set. So I thought that was really interesting. And there we go. We have our tap and die set brought back to a nice condition, usable condition. Not minted out, and the case looks really good. I'm really happy with this set. $10 at the Long Island Tool. Okay, everybody. Thanks very much for tuning in. Hope you have a nice day. Take care now. Bye-bye.